What if I told you that the biggest obstacle in your relationships isn't the other person? It's you. Not your intentions, not your love, just a handful of small, invisible habits, things you do without even noticing, that quietly push people away. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 of them. Some will surprise you. One might sting a little. But by the end, you'll know exactly what to let go of. And your relationships will thank you for it. Let's begin.
Stop holding grudges. Grudges feel like justice. They feel like power. But they are neither. After 27 years in prison, Nelson Mandela walked out and did something almost nobody expected. He had dinner with his former jailers. He later said that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. A grudge doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It punishes you every single day for free. 2. Stop complaining. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth during a plague, a war, and constant betrayal, and still wrote to himself every night, "Complaining changes nothing. Action changes everything." Complaining feels like doing something. It isn't. It's just standing still loudly. 3. Stop lying. Even the small ones. There's a reason the story of Pinocchio has survived for over a century. Every lie physically grows and shows on him. It's a children's story, but the truth in it is very adult. The effort it takes to maintain a lie always costs more than the truth ever would. Abraham Lincoln built an entire legacy on a reputation for honesty in a time of deep political division. Trust, once lost, takes years to rebuild, if it rebuilds at all. 4. Stop blaming others for your life. Viktor Frankl survived a Nazi concentration camp with almost nothing left. No family, no freedom, no possessions. And from that darkest possible place, he wrote one of the most powerful ideas of the 20th century. Between what happens to us and how we respond, there is a space. And in that space is our freedom. Blame hands that freedom to someone else. Every time. 5. Stop judging before you understand. In To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch tells his daughter that you never really know a person until you climb into their skin and walk around in it. Every person you meet today is carrying something you can't see. A diagnosis, a loss, a fear, a debt. Judgment is easy because it requires no information. Understanding is hard because it requires patience. 6. Stop interrupting and being defensive. Socrates never lectured. He asked questions, and then he listened, really listened, because he believed wisdom begins the moment you admit you might be wrong. The next time someone disagrees with you, try this. Let them finish the sentence. Not because you have to agree, just because they deserve to be heard the way you want to be heard. 7. Stop gossiping and creating drama. There's an old proverb, "A word once spoken flies like a bird. You can never catch it again." Gossip feels like connection in the moment. It's actually the opposite. It teaches everyone listening that their own name is probably being passed around the same way behind their back. 8. Stop comparing people to each other. Theodore Roosevelt once wrote that comparison is the thief of joy, and he wasn't exaggerating. Aesop told the same truth centuries earlier through the tortoise and the hare. Two completely different creatures, each winning in their own time, their own way. No one is running your race. Comparing them to someone else is comparing two different rivers for not flowing the same direction. 9. Stop expecting perfection from people. Leonardo da Vinci left the Mona Lisa,
arguably history's most famous painting, unfinished by his own standard when he died. He worked on it for over a decade and still called it incomplete. If the greatest artist in history couldn't reach his own idea of perfect, no one you love ever will either. Genuine goodness, offered imperfectly, is still rare and still worth everything. 10. Stop giving advice and just listen. The poet Rumi wrote that a good listener is exactly what most people spend their whole life searching for. Not a fixer, not an advisor, just someone who stays present with them in the moment they're struggling. Most people who vent to you already know what they should do. What they actually need is to feel heard while they figure it out. Here's the surprising part. None of these 10 things require more time, more money, or more effort than what you're already doing. They require less. Less grudge carrying, less complaining, less defending, less comparing. What you get back is enormous. Lighter relationships, deeper trust, and people who actually want to be around you. Not because you're perfect, but because you finally stopped standing in your own way. Pick just one of these 10 today, just one, and watch what happens to the people around you, and to you. If this reached you, you know exactly who needs to hear it. Share it with them, and I'll see you in the next one.